There's not a single study about women losing respect for a man that cries.
Once a woman sees a man cry...
I'm trying to figure out the nicest way to do this. Can't every living, breathing man, technically speaking, be a study? Ooh, look, here's a study. As a penis provider, I have come to see how, when it comes to emotional reactions and how people deal with. As a dude, we don't really have a place to be emotional. I literally have told other guys, be emotional in your car drives. Be emotional when nobody's around. If you want to lose your shit, do it when nobody's around, because nobody gives a shit unless you are building shit for them, helping them do stuff. And that's basically how it was taught up and raised to be a man. And the whole, I like the whole entire part where you said, I searched and there's no studies, but chase the money. There is no money in healing and the truth. There's money in deception, lies, and sickness. So therefore, as long as the argument is men are valid, men's emotions are cared about. As a man and as any other guy, I've read your comments, they know that's not true. Even though there's no study, we already know there doesn't need to be a study, and that's because validating things that are true makes it more susceptible for people to want to learn about it and try to fix it. So if you don't document the inequality, you can't fucking say there's inequality now, can you? Which is why they don't educate us to the full extent of at least, I don't really know what a full extent of education would be to be at least crucial enough to be able to coexist in society fairly enough for us to be able, but I'd at least say something with emotional intelligence, something with at least true history, not his story and how things were because he won. I'm just saying, the reason why there's no studies is because there's no money into it, for one. Two, it helps keep up the division. And three, we're still in the waking up era. I promise you, there's a lot of broken men, a lot of broken boys. And I figure it's a little bit hard for you to see it just because insert not sexist language, it's going to almost sound sexist. You're coming from the opposite gender. I always tell females they have it easier dating, but some of them will not believe that. I've even sat next to females and showed them comparisons between my phone and their phone. And people would call me a moderately attractive person, so for me to get a match shouldn't be too much of an issue. And I've even asked the girl, how long did you have your Tinder? Because that's the app that we did it. She had her Tinder for 3 months, had 100 matches. I had my Tinder for 3 years. I barely had 25. And that just goes to show that men would rather be in women's attention than be in other men's attention, in a sense. Because now I think about it, I didn't try to go on Grindr and figure out if I'd have a better chance. Because clearly as a heterosexual man, I'm supposed to make the moves on women. And it's my fucking job too. So if I ain't going to make the move, then well, shit. She looked at me, didn't she? But still, the mental health of a dude is not nearly as cared for as the mental health of a female. But not many of us want to talk about that. It took me a while before I actually decided to stitch this. I was hovering over, I'm like, do I want this? Do I want it? Do I want it? Fuck yeah, I want it. I'm passionate about this. That's why I'm a safe space for every gender, as long as they're, don't go against my cardinal sins, that's it. I'm coming from the side that has spoken to every single person I can possibly speak to. I don't really give a fuck. Like I said, male, female, trans, I've talked to every single person that's willing to talk to me for the fact that I grew up unaccepted because of... And that's not necessarily because of women, because I'm not trying to sound bashful, but, I get where I can come off bashful at certain occasions. I was treated different because of my ethnicity and ostracized because of that, so I learned to keep some of that in because of that reason. And then even when I got into smaller social groups and I was just trying to figure out how to socialize with people in general, I always got along with the outcasts. It didn't matter if it was dude, chick, trans, or whatever the fuck it was. I figured, hell, if you give me time and attention, I'll give you the world if you let me. But never always had that occasion. Well, not never, but didn't always have that occasion. Sometimes I wasn't emotionally well put together to be able to figure out what that means, because each body and everybody is different, and to be able to get the fact that I have to be different to be the same to everybody, because some people like that upbeat high energy. Some people would rather this. Some people enjoy this. And it's being around the block and different blocks and different locations to figure out that everyone is different. Yes, I probably did make it too vague, but honestly, I did say I wanted to fucking spark. I wanted to smoke, so I'm gonna take it. I don't mean to sound like I'm coming off like I'm bashing fucking women. I love women, believe it or not. But I hate those that aren't emotionally well put together, that can get and interact with others well enough for it to be fine. I hate those that aren't accountable in what they are doing or what they aren't doing, essentially, I guess. Or maybe I just hate the fact that we aren't taught to communicate well enough for me to be able to get it or navigate through, or for others to navigate through. Like, I try to be as honest as I possibly can within the reasoning of you not trying to hurt or harm me. Like, I tone down the way that I speak when it comes to people I feel like are too authoritative, and I realize that the power that they have is way too ridiculous for me to even try to even dream of battling, because it doesn't matter what I say. It's what they say against what I say, and because of the title of the prestige, it doesn't matter what I say. What does a commoner say compared to a king? Nobody listens to a commoner. But from my own personal experiences from talking to men, women, gay people, trans people, I could say a lot, to be honest, but we're talking about men and emotional. I didn't really grow up in an environment where I could be emotional, but I still became emotional because I realized all the times I was suppressing my emotions, it was starting to bottle up and come out in situations where I shouldn't be upset. I'd be sitting there literally like, why am I fucking pissed? Why does this bother me so much? Oh, the bottle's full and I need to spill some shit out. And I used to do that when I did manual labor work, because why the fuck not? Nobody's gonna listen to me, so fucking hit shit harder. Move faster. But my body won't let me do manual labor anymore because of my heart. So now I actually had to learn to express it through my words and my poems. Even though I've been writing poetry since 2012. It's only recent I've been more expressive.